Hey everybody. Just a quick note. I've been hearing from so many folks. I wanted to reach out to you, especially to those who participated in our wonderful circle that we did on Saturday to preserve our freedom. Spells always work in probably the most important way, and that is to teach us what we need to know about ourselves. So I was reflecting, because it did not work out as we had hoped, but I remembered what I always say to others, and that is that it worked out in this incredibly valuable, precious way. It reminded us of how important freedom is to us, how committed we are to it, how much we value it. And nothing could be more important right now when it is threatened, when we will face a transforming political landscape that is not one in which freedom flourishes. For those of you who need to sort of understand it better, I send you to the work of Anne Applebaum, who describes what happened in Hungary, and it will give you a perspective to sort of help you understand some of the dynamics that may not, but may start to play out here. The most important thing also about that magic, the cone of power that was done in 1940 was directed at one individual, and it worked. We were contending with the psyches and the souls of tens of millions of people, which is what I kept seeing when I inquired, millions and millions and millions. So it returns me to this understanding that the spell works in showing us what is precious and important to ourselves. It's an opportunity for greater self-awareness and appreciation of ourselves. And one of the things that I took away from it, aside from how important freedom is, how precious it is, how necessary it is also how important, how precious, how necessary my community is. We all came out of that work together, energized, joyful, hopeful, inspired, and we need to carry that forward into the times of challenge and crisis that we are now confronted with. It's everything. One of the things that was shared with me when I am doing my work, my journeys and asking, one of the things I was shown was, do your best to turn things in the right way, in the way of freedom and peace and harmony, beauty of spirit embodied. Do your best and help others to do their best. But if things do not go in the way that you would hope, in the best of all possible outcomes, then attend to the task of preserving the seeds. Keep the seeds, become a seed keeper. And that has stayed with me. And I've seen indigenous peoples, I have friends, indigenous peoples around the globe who are engaged in the very practical act of literally preserving seeds. To have these essential sources of rebirth and life and nourishment, despite what's happening with global warming. And so that, to very practically save the seeds of the foods that we will need to nourish ourselves. But because I'm a philosopher, I'm a mystic, I'm a witcher, I am thinking shamanically, I am thinking, what is a seed? It is a seed, but it's also a repository of a blueprint, of a holy blueprint, of wisdom, of the sun held magically in the seed, resting within the mother, ready to be reborn. It's a blueprint of a life that is designed to know instinctively, to naturally do what is necessary, whether it's my dog or an oak tree or a blue jay. All of life knows how to live in the ways that will make themselves happy and healthy and simultaneously make the world a better place for all life. It's only us that have forgotten that such a blueprint exists. That seed within us of how to live in a sacred way, because we have awakened and recognized that we live in a sacred world, that is probably the most important seed that each of us carries. And we have to preserve that wisdom. We have to cultivate it and nourish it with our community, with our practices, with our relationship with the planet, with our self-care, our care for community, our care for this community. No matter what the challenges, we now have our task to collect and protect the seeds of wisdom, the seeds of how to live in a sacred way, because we live on a sacred planet, as part of a sacred planet. So I am looking forward to continuing to be in circle with you, to discovering what it means to live in a sacred way, to discovering and preserving and protecting those seeds for the other side of the destruction of patriarchy. Because the thing that we can always count on is Mother Earth's magic of rebirth. And we are part of that, and we have a role to play in preserving her wisdom and passing it on to others and passing it on to the future to help create a future of peace and harmony, of nature's holy magic and ours. So take good care of yourself, be healthy, be happy, do the things that give you joy, make your offerings, pay attention to the seeds that you're carrying within you and the seeds that are being offered to us, the seeds of wisdom that are being offered to us. Let's preserve them and protect them. I know that we can do it individually and that we will do an even better job in circle, in community, and I look forward to being there again with all of you. Do not despair, prepare. You're here for a reason. At this time, at this place, we have incredibly precious and important work to do, and we're going to do it. Love you all. See you soon.